Welcome, Christian metal community. We're on here today with Symphony of Heaven. My name is Jimmy, and we have Jay. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's up? It's good
Are
to be
you?
here. Good to see you, Logan. And
You guys as
Jimmy.
well. Glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome, man. Well, let's start off. So, Logan, did you grow up in a religious home?
Yes, 100%. There's two things I remember about growing up. One was Indiana basketball and Bobby Knight, and
Yeah,
two was my whole entire family being at church every Sunday, at least in town. That was that's like my earliest memories. Right, is sitting next to Grandma and Grandpa in the front row, them telling me to sit still at church and hearing them sing the old hymns. So
yeah. All right, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Did you grow up in a musical home?
yes, 100%. My mom was a music teacher,
Okay.
um, and
Dope.
so she taught at a Christian school as the like choir director, always something music related. So
That's
that was
cool.
another thing. I would grow up, and one of the first like rock Christian rock album song that I remember that really struck a tone with me was "Go West, Young Man," Michael W.
Oh,
Smith on
yeah,
tape,
yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
so that's like
Yeah,
my favorite album to this day,
Nice.
uh, because Mom loved it and she was always had music on, and was just really she really appreciated God's gift of music and all the intricacies and just it was beautiful. So I was instilled with that from a very young age.
Dude, that is amazing. This is funny. It's such a segue, but that's interesting you said that. Michael W. Smith's album 2 is one of my favorite albums. It's one of the albums that I listened to a lot growing up. And as a keyboard player, it was just, yeah. Shout out to Michael W. Smith, you know?
Mike, Michael, Michael, hi.
So surprisingly, he comes up quite a bit on this metal podcast.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that, Jay?
I have. Yes, absolutely.
It, it's pretty interesting. Amy Grant, not so much, but Michael W. Smith, yes,
Yeah.
Oh, I remember my sister loved Amy Grant. I
Oh, yeah,
remember
of
that.
that
course.
figures. I think a lot of people did. I think that, in the 80s especially, there wasn't much rock to choose from. And I think like Go West Young Man and even too, they weren't like metal or anything even remotely hard rock. But great guitar work, great songwriting, and stuff on those
Yes.
albums for sure. So,
Well, yeah, I listen to it to this day and take notes and on like key chain chord progressions and like because it also had that that at 80s adult contemporary thing that I would remember hearing on the radio out
yeah,
in the world, and there was just like was it Richard Marx and
yeah, Rich Thompson.
yeah, I can't remember all their names, but you know what I'm saying. It was the stuff that's at the credits in a movie on
Yeah,
TBS at
yeah.
the end. So, you know,
Well, that's awesome, man. So, give us a brief history of kind of like growing up in music, playing, learning instruments, and any bands that you've been a part of, and then walk us into forming your current band.
yeah. So, um, like I said, grow up musical household. I was always dancing, drumming, doing something. I always could feel the rhythm and the beat, like it was just natural. Like, what do you mean you can't understand like music? It's just completely natural to me. They they got me a drum set when I was in fourth grade, and because they had one, I joined. They had one in the music classroom at school, and I would hop on it and play, and I would like try and show up all the older kids who thought they were like better and stuff like that. Everybody tried to play Wipeout, you know, and I
Yeah,
just could do it. I could do it like in fourth grade, which at the time was everybody was very really impressed. So they got me a drum set, and I did that for a long time, and they never told me not to play, ever. Like
right.
it was upstairs next to their room, and I could play whenever I wanted to. Very thankful to this day for that. Um,
Sure.
a lot of kids, their parents wouldn't ever even buy them a drum set, let
Right.
alone tell them they could never, Uh, so it was around seventh or eighth grade. me and my friends started getting into, we were in middle school. We're like Biodome movies coming out and Predator.
Oh
We're
yeah.
getting into like the older stuff, the cool stuff.
Mhm.
And we started thinking about like, I found a guitar at the guy down the street had a yard sale, and I found this old crappy guitar. So I bought it, and we got it fixed up, and I started learning it. Locked myself in my room for like 6 months. Would listen to like the hard rock radio station if I could get reception for it, and would start to learn some stuff. And then eventually it came down to like Korn. Like my sister was getting into high school, and there was this band called Korn. And of course, you walk into Hot Topic at the mall, and you could see stuff about Korn on the wall, and it's scary, it's dark, and
Yeah.
part of me is like, I don't know what this is, but it scares me, but in a good way.
Mhm.
And so, eventually, they were my first band that I really took to, and then Metallica. So I locked myself in my room for 6 months in the basement, and
Wow.
just came out learning how to play the Black Album.
Mhm.
And like I would
There
play
we go.
every single day, hours and hours a day after school. I don't really remember much else other than just practicing and learning how to play.
Would you say the Black Album is kind of your gateway into metal?
If I'm trying to remember, it was the gateway into more traditional styles of metal, because like I said, I was into Korn, Static X, System of a Down.
Yeah.
There's some other like that new old Limp Bizkit. Everybody was, this was back before you could. Limp Bizkit was cool, and then they weren't cool, and now they're cool again.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it was like that. But then from Metallica, because I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and I could tell that they were actually doing stuff that was more intricate and cool. So I just took to that and found the tabs online, played along to the CD. And then from there, it just exploded into more thrash metal, because then all of a sudden you hear about bands like Megadeth and Pantera, Slayer,
Yeah.
and then it just goes and goes. And then you get tired, not tired of that, but then you find out about death metal, and like, oh my gosh, this is even more intense. It's Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel and stuff. And then it took me, and I mean, I had like a little bit of black metal, but not very much. That scared me for a long time. I wasn't comfortable with it until Horde and Elgabor. So,
okay.
and then that kind of unlatched it for me. Like, okay, yeah, this is good, and I can appreciate the music style for what it is, and I just dove deep into that. And past black metal, there's really nowhere further down to go.
See, but that's what they said whenever Black Sabbath came out. So at some point,
Yeah, who knows what that'll be?
Yeah.
hey, yeah, I'm here to find out though.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So in high school, sorry. Well, yeah, I was gonna say in high school, me and my buddies always had garage bands that we'd play. We'd try and play Ozzy and others, maybe some Mudvayne. We liked Mudvayne really good. Then we got towards the end of school, we started more of an actual band, and it was called Never Labeled. And you can actually, it's got a Metal Archives entry on there. We did like a little EP recording, and then I had to leave due to my job. And for about 10 years, I was not active at all with my job situation. I was working 6 days a week most of the time. So the only music I got was leading worship at church. And so, I still kept in touch with metal. I didn't have the time to get into it as deep as I wanted to. So I was just kind of floating around for a while. That's when I discovered Crimson Moonlight and Schlechtvalk and Tester.
Oh, yeah.
And all them guys. And then like Amon Amarth, Impending Doom. So it was a kind of a weird era. It was like the beginning of like the metalcore stuff. As I Lay Dying was big back then.
So did you get into the metalcore?
Not
Not as much.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't identify as metalcore. There was like, Kill Switch, old Kill. We loved. I didn't think Kill Switch was metalcore. They weren't metalcore. They were just Kill Switch Engage.
They had their own thing, right?
Exactly, but that birthed itself into something else.
Well, and it's like some people define Zayo as metalcore, but I never had in my mind. It's like they created their own genre in the way I saw it,
Yeah, I remember finding them like it might have been Apple Music or something. I mean, I had a couple Zayo tracks, couple X-Toll tracks. It was a spotty thing. Couple Crimson Moonlight tracks. And then it was about when I got we moved into this house and I got a new job all around the same time. And I kind of felt mentally like, okay, I've arrived. I've got a schedule now that I can do this. So I bought an interface, and I'm like, I'm going to start recording music again because I'd only ever done it at home on like Cakewalk years ago. So I'm like, but I'm going to do it, and that's when I started Symphony almost 10 years ago.
Wow,
man, that's awesome.
That is so crazy.
And here I am.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. I know that, dude, it's funny. Your story, as far as your music story, especially your metal story, it very much mirrors my own for sure. But I think maybe a lot of people too. I think I was probably more in the punk, I guess, growing up, but definitely quickly went to, thrash metal and then, of course, death metal for sure. And yes, Horde.
What kind of?
Huh?
Yeah, Horde. Yeah, they're awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, what? So when you say punk, what was you getting into when you say punk metal?
Probably. The Crucified, the Blame.
Okay.
Too,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah,
And,
the Blame.
Bad Brains.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. So yeah.
You can't leave them out.
No, I think it was probably pop punk, like maybe later on, Green Day and MXPX and stuff. But yeah, I started off with like the Crucified. When I'll never even forget.
Okay.
But yeah, man. I know that Symphony it started off as like a one-man band project, right? And then after that, you started.
That is correct.
Members.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That was. Never wanted to leave it as a one-man project. It was just I didn't have a choice at the time. It's hard enough to find musicians as it is, let alone when you're out in southern Indiana.
Yeah.
Out,
right.
in a small town. Everybody knows how that is. So you just and I could play all the instruments. So I'll just do it all myself. Figure it out, start that way, and ended up meeting like Mike Larson from who he had started Nostril Recordings. That's Sabat Frost from
right.
Frost Like Ashes. Got to know all them guys. Sean Browning, who was running Rottweiler at the time.
Super nice guys. We've interviewed all those guys. They're really good.
Oh, yeah, they're all great. I love them to death. They're my brothers.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting, exciting time. Like with the Facebook groups coming around, they were kind of new, so there was a new way to discover.
Yes.
Even more underground stuff that you'd never found before because of word of mouth,
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that because that helped me find a lot of good stuff over the years.
Nice.
Right. I'm sure it wasn't just Theocracy and Striper and Demon Hunter.
the big three: Striper, Demon Hunter, and Theocracy.
Is there any other?
I love them,
but is there anything else outside of them? I mean,
not according to the Facebook comment section. So, and if any of you three bands see it, I love you guys. I really do.
Right,
so.
Exactly.
You are not,
of course.
You're not wrong, my friend. I'm planning to go see Demon Hunter for the first time. I've never seen them.
What?
They're going to be on tour with. Yeah, I know, right? They're going to be on tour with Cultus and who else?
Convictions.
Yes, Convictions. That's it. Yep.
Wow, I saw their first Cornerstone concert.
Wow.
and it was, it was great, man. I was like, and of course at that time they were really, they weren't doing ballots yet, so it was, it was it was a fun time for sure. But yeah, man, I know, like I said, you started off with the solo project, so I know you've had a few members in the band or whatever. Now, who are the current members of the band?
Currently, right now, we're operating as just me and Mason as
Okay.
a two-piece, kind of as the core of the band. We've had we utilized a lot of live members last year.
Okay.
We are kind of looking forward, kind of restructuring some things and a new way to operate, because it's been difficult to find a full band that can stay on for the long term.
Yeah.
We've had members come and go over the years, and we love all of them. One had to go back to his home country. And
Wow.
that was Eero, who was from Finland. Once they got done with their stuff, he had to go back. So it's just been one of those where it's like the core over the years is kind of like the James and Lars is me and Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Guitar and
things
drum.
just kind of weave in and out.
Yeah.
So
That is something. I will say
Nice.
his drum playing. Of course, I've been keeping up with the band over the years. His drum playing on Ordo. How do you pronounce this? Like Oro, Aram, uh, Archaea.
Ordo Arum Archaea.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I was gonna say.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Anyway, his
Yeah.
drumming on that album, dude, is amazing. And I know you all. I guess we'll talk about this a little bit, but you seem like it's very hybrid compared to like maybe some of the thrash
Mhm.
metal of the past. But it's very hybrid and different styles. But yeah, he's just killing. I was so impressed by his
Yes.
drumming on that album.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome, man.
He's great. He does a great job.
Yeah, I don't know how you would take this, but and I'm not talking about the sound, but the visual of the band, the names, everything around it. It reminds me first of Mortification. Like
Hmm.
I felt like I see Mortification and Tourniquet. It's kind of like a blend
Mhm.
aesthetically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just the artwork, the names, the song names, all these things, and I'm like I love it, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know, like on your website, you describe yourself as melodic blackened death metal. So that's pretty cool. It's not something that you see every day, So or hear every day. So I mean, you hear black metal, you hear melodic, you hear all these things, but all of them together. So how did that kind of come about? And what if somebody is watching this and they haven't heard Symphony of Heaven? What are they looking to expect?
Well, it came about because I can't make up my mind on anything.
There you
So,
go.
and I love all those genres. So, and to me, yes, we describe them differently, but there's all a core language that they're all speaking, and they're interchangeable. And if you really sit down and study, like, yeah, they might do, especially nowadays, this band over here might be called melodic metal, but then they throw in blast beats. Well, that's a black metal thing. Or they
Right.
throw in, instead of high vocals, it's low vocals. Well, that's death metal. And then they'll do a
Yeah.
thrash beat. Well, there's thrash metal.
Hmm.
Um, so when you're so to me, this is my mind. Like it's all the same. It's a way, however you can learn to translate it well, and put it together. You're not necessarily forcing different things together that don't fit. They all come from the same place. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess if you've never heard Symphony of Heaven and you're listening to them to us for the first time, expect to hear a lot of emotion. I think is the core for
Mm.
one. Everything that's written is, I believe it. It's a lot of emotion, whether it's theology, worldview, or it is things experienced in life. I don't do any of this. I don't do any of this just for fun. It's fun, but you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
actually believe what I'm saying. It's all from the heart, and then over time, over the years, trying to hone in the actual riffs and songwriting into more what I want to write the album and the music that I want to listen to that doesn't feel like it's mine. Like it grows legs and walks off on its own.
Like
And I don't even.
it's quality music, but carries a message. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
You put thought into it. It really is a ministry because God can use anything. Right?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what I love about this is, and I mean, I know you've heard it probably 100 times, is, you know, there's music like this that people may never step foot in a church, but they will listen to this. And I've heard so many testimonies and stories of things like that. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes. Yeah, it's a way to. I've always thought of it as just, you know, planting seeds. What is it Paul said? I'm paraphrasing. I planted the seed, Apollos watered, but God made it grow. You know, it's not, all I can do is do what I know God's called me to do, and it's so natural for me to make music and share that love and appreciation and joy from it with other people, that it inevitably, like, this is from God. Music is a gift from God. It's even your heart has rhythm. You know, the whole world operates like a symphony. Everything.
Right. Love it. That's so good. Yeah, I mean, God is the creator. He is the inventor. So why not? Yeah.
Exactly. And we all know it. So it's like when I really just love to just bring it out and get excited about music, because I am. I wake up in the morning and I've got something going in my head till the second I fall asleep. Probably in my dreams as well. I'm pretty sure I've had dreams about music as well. So
I bet Jay can relate to that.
Oh, I can totally relate to it. I love it, man. So are you still in Southern Indiana, by the way? You still in Indiana?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, sir. Yep. Southern Indiana. Down here where Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana all meet.
Right.
Around Evansville.
Okay.
So, but I don't really claim Evansville. I'm just near it.
That's funny. Oh my goodness.
So.
Yeah, but I do.
Is what it is.
Yeah, I know I was talking about Mason drumming and just how much it improved. But yeah, I love that you can hear an evolution, like just with the band overall between the EPs and the albums for sure. I think a lot of bands get stuck, you know, like in one thing, and I know it's hard sometimes to refuse to be defined. I do love the melodic black metal, death metal type of thing, but I mean, you know, I hear some southern rock influences also in your last album. You know.
Oh boy, watch out now.
I love southern rock. I mean, that's the thing. It's never entered into my mind to do it for symphony, but everybody tells me, and I hear it when somebody else like video records me, like, "Boy, your accent's coming out hard." I'm like, I don't have an accent. What are you talking about?
I don't have an accent.
And then I'll hear it. I'm like, oh, I do have an accent. Know what? Yeah. I got some twang in there, don't I? So, you know. So it does. It comes in that soul. Yeah. That soul feeling, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
So I see you got over 1,000 monthly listeners on your Spotify, and that's growing every day. That's so awesome, man. Yes. So I'm definitely going to be promoting this as well, but I wanted to ask you about one of the songs, specifically "Away with the Atheists." Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, please. I'm so glad you asked about that. So when you first look at the song name, everybody's like, "Away with the Atheists." Well, that's kind of like deicide, kill the Christians. Funny story about that I'll bring up later. But what people don't understand is that "Away with the Atheist" is a quote from Polycarp, the Bishop of Smyrna, back in the around late 1st century, early 2nd century. And he is a grandmaster in the Ordo Aurum, in the lineage back then, so we shared his story. And but I mean, you can find his writings referenced in Eusebius and later church fathers, but it's such a great story. He's the Bishop of Smyrna. They're going after all the Christians. They arrest him. They find him. He's an old man, and they bring him into the arena in front of the governor there in Smyrna, and they tell him, like they were doing, like, get rid of Jesus, go for the Roman gods and disavow Christ and all this stuff. And because back then they would always say the Christians were atheists. They called them atheists because they didn't follow the Roman gods. So the whole group in the Colosseum, thousands of people are all shouting, "Away with the atheists." So he plants his feet, old man, points at the crowd like this, and away with the atheists. Like, that's the biggest, there's no other, it's the ballsiest thing ever. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're an old man sitting there in front of a crowd of people that's going to murder you, and you just plant your feet for Jesus. And that, and it's such a good, so that's Away with the Atheist, and the lyrics go through that entire his writings and his words and things in there.
That's a pretty powerful story. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah, it's I'm so glad. I love that song, and I love the story about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That would be up there. Oh, man, what would be my favorite? To this day, Death March has become its own thing. And I noticed this a while ago, where I remember when the genesis of the song came out, and I was just like, this is really cool. And then I wrote like the really hard Morbid Angel death metal riff. I'm like, this is really cool. And it became its own thing. And it's like I said, it's grown legs over the years, to where when I listen to it, I don't feel like I'm listening to myself. I feel like I'm listening to another band, which is kind of what I shoot for, because then I get to just enjoy it and listen. I'm not sitting there thinking about the mistakes, or I wish I would have done it this way. No, it was just, that's the song. It's like God gave it through me, and that's what I'm trying to do. So that's probably consistently my favorite.
Cool.
That's good. So you've had the privilege to share the stage with bands like Out of Hill to Die Upon, Crimson Moonlight, Drottner, Taking the Head of Goliath, GFM. So tell us like one of your favorite memories from one of these amazing shows that you got to play with.
Man, I'll start with favorite memory as like on stage, if I can remember. Well, it's hard sometimes, because you get on stage, especially for me, I'm having to concentrate on so many things. I would say, I mean, any of the shows. Oh, well, Mexico City. I have to, even though that was one of the worst sets I've ever played in my life, so I apologize to all you down there.
Oh, no.
Well, it's like I just flew and traveled 1,800 miles to come blow the set. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my
boy.
But it was the fact that I was on stage in Mexico City, and there was people that had come. One gentleman said that I drove 10, 12 hours to come see you guys. And I was like, don't do that again. Why? Don't do that, But it was so humbling. They just it's just like humbling. I don't know how else to describe it. The fact that it made me mad, because they love music down there so much, and then I get back to America, and it's just kind of like, and the style of music that I like, and they were so nice. And you get back to America, and everybody's just not nice.
Yeah.
So, that's my favorite. I would have to say that was my favorite, because that was something I can hang my hat on and tell people, and even for myself, remind myself when I get scared to do things like, dude, you flew to Mexico City and back in 3 days, or a day, 2 days, day and a half.
Not even 3, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, boy, when you think God can give you the ability to do stuff, you just got to get out of your head sometimes.
Yeah,
that's right.
My favorite attendance at said show that I've played at had to have been Audio Feed 2019 with Drottnar and Crimson Moonlight.
Oh, God.
It was
crazy.
That sounds like amazing.
Drottnar, to this day, I get chills. They just sat there and played. Like, they didn't move. They didn't do anything. It was
interesting.
The atmosphere, it was heavy. Like,
I bet.
Well, like the air was thick, like foreboding. And then with Crimson Moonlight, that was.
Oh yeah, of course, always a group in it. Great studio band, great live
it was
band.
you know, it was a spiritual experience.
Mm-hmm.
He sat there and did the
Wow.
blessing before the last song from Numbers. Hang on a minute. 6. I got it on my arm.
Nice.
And he did the blessing, and it'd been a long year for me, and all of a sudden the wind picked up. It's nighttime. It had been blazing hot. He does the blessing, and the wind picks up and blows through the tent, and you can just, oh my gosh, like God's Spirit was moving in that moment for so many different reasons. Yeah, and then just, it was crazy. It was a crazy show, and I loved it, and I miss you guys so much.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. So here's something. When it comes to presenting yourself to both Christians and the secular audience, like, what message do you want each audience to take away from your band?
I thought about this over the years because, there's always the debate as far as the titles of Christian metal or a Christian band or Christians in a band or, it's always a debate, and I can see both sides of it. I have settled on Christian metal and a Christian band simply because, but I mean, it's also not false to say that I'm a Christian in a band.
Right.
That I'm
Right.
death metal, but I'm a Christian death metal band. But it can't be Christian death metal unless it's death metal. It has to be both, so both are true. And so here we are.
Right.
So, but what I want people to see from everybody is the seriousness and the concreteness of everyday life and truth that we're dealing with. In that, if I can show you that this is what I believe and here's why I believe it, and I believe it, and I think you should too, and here's why. And even if I don't say it directly, it's the experience. You have to sometimes come alongside people and just be their friend, be a shoulder for them, and music's a great medium for that. So if it's Christians that listen to the music, praise God, amen. I hope it encourages your walk, because it encouraged mine over the years to find metalheads like me that were Christian, and it was even more metal and even more real than the secular stuff, because we believe what we're saying.
Yeah.
And if you're not a Christian and you like the music, praise God, because God's blessing you through that. I can't convince you of that. I just know that He is. And I can't know where you're going to end up. But He causes His sun to rise on the wicked and the good. He sends rain on everybody.
Yep.
So He's blessing you even through the music that you don't know He's blessing you with. And perhaps one of these days, and I've seen it before, they'll make a connection in your mind, and you'll come back and be like, oh, that's what that was. And I've had that before with people. So
that's good. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
All I can do, God's given me a microphone and a stage. All I can do is say, this is who I am. I'm the same person here as I am everywhere else.
That's right.
Rough edges and everything. So, but this is what I believe, and this is just me being myself and sharing my life with you, and my life is in Christ. So guess what? I'm sharing Christ with you. So whether you want it or not.
you can't separate them, right? I mean,
No.
it's part of you. So
Exactly.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, tell us one thing about Logan that people watching this may not know.
Oh, my hair is getting redder as I get older and grayer.
Uh-oh.
And I think everybody could maybe, yeah. One thing they don't know about me, oh, man. I would say that I played a lot of sports growing up. Wasn't very good at it. But, a lot of musicians don't tend to be, they didn't grow up with sports. It was either one or the other. I grew up with it all. As you can tell back there, my IU locker from when I was a kid, I still have it. So I find a lot of commonality and common ground and life lessons in music and sports. like when we watched IU play the college football national championship the other day, and it just,
Yeah.
and it showed me, for anybody out there, if you want to accomplish a goal, everybody's got to be on the same level with a singular focus towards a goal, and you can achieve anything. So I might not come off as too much of a sports fan. I mean, I mean, that's how I bonded with my family growing up, was basketball and baseball.
Sure.
Other than that, people probably know I'm a huge, like, Lord of the Rings fan. Lord of the Rings. We just keep them on all the time.
Okay. Nice.
Hope.
That's good.
Well, I mean, because it's like you can kind of think about all kinds of things, but really at the end of the day, it's the hope of the resurrection. Hope that this body, this ain't it, and that God's working a work in us now, and that he's going to raise these bodies from the earth, and we'll be with him, and there won't be any more crying or death or pain. There'll be just all kinds of, I don't imagine that we're just going to be sitting on a cloud playing a harp. I think there's going to be all kinds of things to do, cool stuff. I mean, we get to do cool stuff now. God made us to work on the earth. Imagine the work we're going to get to do in a perfect creation. I can't even.
Wow.
We can't even imagine. So,
well, let's hope it's at least an electric harp. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, with a Boss HM2.
There we go. That's
there
awesome.
We go. Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. Well, so what can the Christian metal community do to help support your ministry and Symphony of Heaven?
Man, there's all kinds of things. Word of mouth is always really good, because I find that if you know us, you know us. But if you don't know us, you've never heard of us. I guess that makes sense. But like, word of mouth is that we're trying to bring about and maintain the old school, traditional, more European style based ethos of metal. And you don't have that a lot. You got a lot of the deathcore. That's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just not my cup of tea per se. I don't not like it. It's just not what I'm going to grab first. You
carry the torch proudly. There's nothing wrong with that.
We do. And so I want people to spread the word of mouth, because there's probably other people out there like me and like us that when they'll be like, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And just, I have zero problem with thinking like, well, you're on you just want people to look at. Yes, I do want people to know what I'm doing, because I believe in what I'm doing, and I know what it felt like for me to find others that were doing things I appreciated. So word of mouth, share our music, share our Spotify or YouTube videos. Merch is always nice. That helps fund a lot of things and upgrade the quality of what we're able to do. It really honestly does. We're so thankful for that.
Can we buy your physical CDs, vinyl, cassettes, 8-tracks?
Yes, we've got physical merchandise on our Bandcamp, symphonyofheaven.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
So we've got CDs, we've got beanies, T-shirts, sweatbands, patches. No vinyl at the time. That's a larger investment. It's it's a little bit more upfront to get that going. But it's definitely been on the radar for a while. But yes, there is. We always have something that you can buy, and that helps more than anything else.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, Logan, this has been awesome. I appreciate it, man. Looking forward to hearing some new music too.
Yes, we're actively working on that right now. There's some really exciting things as we're once again trying to level up. We're trying to operate at the highest level possible. I just get, as I get older, I've been told so many times I can't do something like, oh, I'm going to show everybody, and I'm going to be better than everybody. Maybe it's not the right attitude, but it gets me better at my stuff,
Oh, absolutely. No, I get it. I get it.
A little bit of anger. Just a little bit at the world. So, in anger's midst. So.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys very much for having us. Like I said, you can find Symphony on all streaming platforms, YouTube videos, Bandcamp, Facebook, Instagram. It's always just Symphony of Heaven. And you'll see my beautiful face probably on there really quick, so you'll know you're in the right place. So
Very nice. Awesome. Thank you, man.